to at Kannur, Kerala. Thank you very much. You may be aware that the National Council meeting of AIFB is going to be held on 7th, 8th and 9th of April 2022 at Bhubaneswar, Odisha. Therefore, I am unable to attend your party congress. Kindly excuse me for this inconvenience. However, I wish all success to your party congress. This important 23rd Congress of CPIM is being held at a time when our country is confronting serious socio-political and economic crisis due to the anti-people policies of the Modi government. The Modi government is undermining the time-tested. Will also discuss the crisis being faced by the left parties of the country in the contemporary period. We are relentlessly organizing mass movements of the farmers, working people, youth, students, women, and other marginalized people. But our organizations are unable to translate these people's resentments into popular votes during elections. A concerted effort is needed to examine the lacunae in our movements, and we should adopt collective measures to rectify our shortcomings. Once again, I wish all success to you and warm communist greetings to all of you and wish your deliberations all success. I am thankful to Comrade Sitaram Yechury for inviting me to this inaugural session. But unfortunately, as the dates of your Congress clash with our Central Committee meeting in Ranchi, I am therefore sending this written message to greet your Congress. As you assemble for your 23rd Congress in the shadow of a prolonged pandemic, we are witnessing yet another war in Europe. Putin has declared independent Ukraine a mistake of Lenin and is threatening to undo it by bombing the second largest former Soviet republic out of existence. The war on Ukraine has been on for more than a month now and has already killed thousands of civilians and forced millions to flee for safety. India has the largest number of foreign students studying in Ukraine, and yet the Modi government did precious little by way of diplomatic initiatives to stop the war or logistical arrangements to ensure speedy and safe evacuation of Indian students stuck in Ukraine. Just as Modi's India has betrayed the Palestinian cause in the face of intensified Israeli aggression, it now effectively supports Putin's invasion of Ukraine. The victorious revolution of 1917 had not only snapped the imperialist chain in its weakest link and freed Russia from the shackles of the Tsarist autocracy, it has also ended the toxic domination of the Great Russian chauvinism to turn the prison of nationality to a few corporations. And in the name of a strong nation, the rights of citizens and states enshrined in the Constitution are being systematically ended. Dissent is being incriminated and silenced, and rational, progressive voices are being relentlessly stifled in the academia, media, and cultural sphere. If the pandemic emboldened the Modi government to seek opportunities in the crisis, the 75th anniversary of India's independence has come as an opportune moment and platform to hijack many of India's freedom movement leaders and rewrite the history of India's freedom movement and the very meaning of independence from the Hindutva point of view. Clearly, modern India has never faced such a severe and sustained assault on the diversity that defines India and the basic democratic framework that has sustained India's unity and advance, however retarded till now. The weak institutional framework of Indian democracy is crumbling in the face of this fascist offensive. This reminds us of the warnings that Dr. Ambedkar had sounded at the time of the adoption of India's constitution. He had described the constitution as a top dressing of democracy on a soil that is essentially anti-democratic. And 7 decades later, we see that topsoil cracking up. We have now clearly reached a stage of fascist aggression where democracy has to be rescued and defended by all means. Even as the institutions have proved to be weak and deficient, the people of India have sensed the danger and are coming out repeatedly on the streets in unprecedented struggles. The Shaheen Bag movement for equal citizenship. Students will be celebrating its century 3 years later. During the freedom movement and for much of India's early post-independence decades, the RSS remained weak, isolated, and hugely discredited. But today, from the vantage position of power at the center and in most of India's states, and thanks to its growing penetration in most of India's institutions, it thinks it has reached a now or never moment to redesign and redefine India according to its Hindu supremacist and anti-democratic agenda and outlook. The onus is on Indian communists and other progressive forces to foil this RSS design. The freedom movement had given us a radical legacy, much of which was never really fulfilled, and the rest is being sought to be destroyed and reversed now. It gave us a secular and inclusive national identity that respected differences and diversity and made us part of the international anti-imperialist, anti-colonial, anti-fascist awakening and socialist dream that inspired the 20th century. It gave us the Kisan Manifesto for abolition of landlordism and freedom from debt, the clarion call of caste annihilation and social equality, the economic vision of using the country's resources for the welfare of the people. It gave us the Constitution with its Declaration of Rights. Armed with this rich inheritance, we must wage a renewed battle for freedom, freedom from fascism. The circumstances are absolutely compelling for all of us in the left to unite and fight back with all our strength. We have managed to attain a better degree of coordination in several states and also at the All India level. We have been together in securing impressive electoral victories in Bihar. Our tactical differences, of course, came to the fore in West Bengal, as noted in your draft resolution. We believe, dear Comrade Sitaram Yechuri, General Secretary CPIM, I thankfully acknowledge the invitation of the millions of downtrodden people of our country. We must have to combat the unabated anti-people aggression of the present NDA government at the center and most of the state governments. The Modi government in particular is arrogantly keen to subserve the interests of ugly profit maximization bid of the international oligarchy led by the US imperialism. The crisis-ridden international capital is yet to identify any meaningful way out from the severest crisis that was manifested virtually the world over in 2008. The Modi government has been advised and entrusted to expose the large number of people of the dear country of ours to the brink of ominous disaster for salvaging the tyrannical world capitalism. The aggressive misadventure of the present government to distort and disown the very legacy of our anti-imperial struggles is replete in its nefarious attempts to do away with the very democratic rights of the people, particularly the working class and peasantry. The constitution of the independent India is also being trampled, misinterpreted at will. The dispensation of neoliberal capitalism is being blatantly or virulently pursued by the present government of the country. The deep-seated conspiracies are being hatched to push the vast majority of the country to extreme poverty, unemployment, and inevitable destitution. The paradigm of development as envisaged to accomplish the task as designed by the most privileged metropolitan capital are being dumped on the governments and the planners of India. The Modi government is perpetually indulging in blatant prevarication to disorient the psyche of common people. We must garner enough courage to disown and challenge this sort of paradigm by all means. This is, of course, apparently quite alluring to deceive the people at large with some sort of spectacular showcasing. According to our party, we must adopt a non-conformist attitude to such and resolve to fight out the anti-people designs of the nexus of RSS and BJP. This need no reiteration that we, the lefts, particularly the Marxist-Leninist political parties, are entrusted with the responsibility of promoting the common people's interests by all means. The fascist and hydra-headed RSS, with the advantage of the Modi government, is all out at the present to demolish the unity and integrity of the toiling people. The united left must philosophically combat these horrific attempts of the present. The new education policy or other retrograde socio-cultural policies of the Modi government are simply an insidious attempt to push the tendentious theories of Hindutva primacy at the expense of modern scientific knowledge. The young peoples of the country will be the worst victims of such malicious attempts. Let us not raise the issue of all-pervasive and disastrous economic policies being hotly pursued by the Modi government, as you are more than aware of those. We hope your 23rd Party Congress will not only interpret the situation both nationally and internationally, but will be keen to chalk out programs to change. We may assimilate the lessons of present changes, taking firm turn in the Latin American countries like Peru, Chile, Bolivia, Brazil, etc. These nations are primarily committed to advance the anti-imperialist struggles to emancipate the peoples from the tyranny of the imperialism, capitalism in particular. However, we need not require to impart more of knowledge to the enlightened delegates who are keenly involved in the struggle for the toiling millions of India. We once again wish your 23rd Party Congress a grand success and extend our heartiest greetings to all the delegates from all corners of the country. Thanking you with revolutionary greetings, yours comradely, Manoj Bhattacharya, General Secretary, RSP. Thank you.
And friends, our guests, Now I shall read out the list of the communist and workers' parties from different countries, those who have sent their written messages wishing the grand success of our 23rd Party Congress. Communist Party of China, Communist Party of Vietnam, Communist Party of Cuba, Workers' Party of Korea, Lao People's Revolutionary Party, Communist Party of Australia, Communist Party of Bangladesh, Workers' Party of Bangladesh, Workers' Party of Belgium, Communist Party of Bohemia and Moravia, Communist Party of Brazil, Communist Party of Britain, Communist Party of Burma, Communist Party of Chile, AKEL of Cyprus, this is the name of their party, Galician People's Union, German Communist Party, Die Linke, Germany, Communist Party of Greece, Tudeh Party of Iran, Iraqi Communist Party, Communist Party of Ireland, Workers' Party of Ireland, Italian Communist Party, Japanese Communist Party, Communist Party of Nepal, UML, Communist Party of Nepal, United Socialist, Communist Party of Pakistan, Palestinian Communist Party, Communist Party of Russian Federation, Communist Party of the Peoples of Spain, PCPE, within bracket, People's Liberation Front, Sri Lanka, within bracket, JVP, Communist Party of Turkey, Communist Party of USA, Communist Party of Venezuela, South African Communist Party, Portuguese Communist Party. I would like to tell you, all their messages would not be read here. Only I am requesting Comrade Baby, our Politburo member, to read the written messages sent to us from Communist Party of China, Communist Party of Vietnam, Communist Party of Cuba, Workers' Party of Korea, Laos People's Revolutionary Party, socialist countries. Now, Comrade Baby will read out their messages.
Delighted to learn that the Communist Party of India Marxist will convene its 23rd National Congress. The International Department of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of China wishes to extend to you our warm congratulations. With a history of over 100 years, the Communist Party of India Marxist has been an important player in the political arena of India, long committed to exploring a path to socialism compatible with the actual conditions. We believe that the forthcoming National Congress will lead the Communist Party of India Marxist to make bigger contribution to the economic development and social progress of India. The Communist Party of China maintains close and friendly interactions with the Communist Party of India Marxist, which has played a positive role in enhancing the friendship and mutual trust between our countries and two peoples. The Communist Party of China stands ready to further deepen exchanges and cooperation with the Communist Party of India Marxist through the sharing and mutual learning of a governance experience, as well as the strengthening of communication and collaboration on the development of relations between our two countries and on regional and international issues of mutual interest, thus making active efforts to build a new type of party-to-party relations that seeks to expand common ground while reserving differences and enhances mutual respect and mutual learning, injecting more positive energy into the promotion of sound and steady development of bilateral relations and working together to bring out even greater vigor of Marxism in the 21st century. We wish the forthcoming Congress a complete success. International Department, Central Committee, Communist Party of China. Greetings from Communist Party of Cuba. Comrade Sitaram Yechuri, General Secretary of the Communist Party of India, Marxist. Dear Sitaram Yechuri, on behalf of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of Cuba, kindly receive a fraternal greeting on the occasion of the celebration of the 23rd Congress of the CPIM. CPIM has always been at the forefront of the revolutionary struggle of the working class, defending the banners of socialism and proletarian internationalism. The Cuban people never forget the endearing and militant solidarity of the CPIM and the Indian people in the hardest moments of the special period, and their permanent accompaniment to Cuba in the fight against the genocidal economic, commercial, and financial blockade of the United States, intensified by the Trump administration and which is maintained opportunistically by the Biden administration, even in the midst of the complex circumstances imposed by the COVID-19 pandemic. Several generations of the CPM leaders have cultivated the excellent ties that unite our two parties and peoples, a fact that motivates us to transmit the special relationship to present and future generations. At present, Yankee imperialism and its allies use new ways and methods to manipulate reality and subvert the internal order of nations in favor of the interest of the ruling classes, with the aim of promoting their policies of regime change and domination at the global level. In the face of these realities, unity in the diversity of the communist parties, together with the workers and social movements, is the strategy of struggle for a better world, for truth, justice, solidarity, and in defense of the just and noble cause of the peoples against the hegemony of Yankee imperialism. As reaffirmed by the 8th Congress of the Communist Party of Cuba, we ratify to the leaders and militants of the CPIM that Cuba, its Communist Party, and our heroic people remain firm, resisting and actively confronting imperialist aggressions, sure of victory, following the legacy of Commander-in-Chief Fidel Castro Ruz, the teachings of Army General Raul Castro Ruz, and with the continuing generation headed by Comrade Miguel Diaz-Canel Bermudez, First Secretary of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of Cuba and President of the Republic, and dedicated to building an independent, sovereign, democratic, socialist, prosperous, and sustainable nation. We reiterate the will to continue to strengthen bilateral relations, political dialogue, and cooperation between our parties. We wish you all every success in the debates and deliberations of the Congress. Long live the friendship and solidarity between the Communist Party of Cuba and the CPIM. Central Committee, Communist Party of Cuba. Message of greetings from Workers' Party, Korea. The Central Committee of the Communist Workers' Party of Korea warmly congratulates the 23rd Congress of the Communist Party of India, Marxist, and extends comradely greetings to the whole members of your party through the Congress. We are sure that this Congress will be a significant occasion in the activities of your party to further strengthen your party and firmly consolidate mass foundation. We take this opportunity to sincerely wish you great success in your party Congress, expressing our conviction that traditional relations of friendship between our two parties would further strengthen and develop in future. Central Committee, Workers' Party of Korea. This is Lao People's Revolution, that the resolutions and documents that adopted by the Congress will be guidelines for your party's future movements in order to bring prosperity to the people of India and contribute significantly to the cause of building peace, friendship and cooperation for development in the region and the world. We wish the 23rd Congress of the CPIM brilliant success. May the friendly relationship between the Lao People's Revolutionary Party and the Communist Party of India Marxist be further developed for the benefits of Lao and peoples of India. Message of greetings from Communist Party of Vietnam. Dear comrades, on the occasion of the 23rd Congress of the Communist Party of India Marxist, on behalf of the Communists and the people of Vietnam, we would like to extend the warmest congratulations to the Congress and all members of the Communist Party of India Marxists. We are delighted to note that in the past years, despite numerous difficulties and challenges, the Communist Party of India Marxist, CPIM, has always been consistent in Marxism-Leninism, pioneered in the struggle for the rights and interests of the Indian workers, peasants and toiling masses, and championed the solidarity of the left Congress, thus solidly consolidating and promoting the party's position and influence in Indian political arena. May the solidarity, friendship and cooperation between our two parties and the two peoples of Vietnam and India be further strengthened and vigorously developed. Wish the upcoming 23rd Congress of the Communist Party of India Marxist be crowned with fine success. Fraternal greetings, Central Committee, Communist Party of Vietnam. Thank you, comrades.